Hello there, I'm Paul Iles. I'm Project Manager for Accurascale and responsible for the BR Mk1 Suburbans. With them arriving at our warehouse now, I thought now would be an ideal opportunity to take a couple out of the boxes and just to show you the details that you can expect to see and what extras we're including in there. And just to talk you through why, if you haven't got round to buying some of these yet, why you should really consider doing so. So first model out is the second in BR Blue. I've got one here in front of me. The immediate obvious thing, well, it's immediately obvious to me because I designed it that way, was with the blue ones, in their later lives, they got patched at the bottom. And so we've included this in the tooling. So you'll notice the patches that are added at the bottom where corrosion accumulated and wore through the body. Just one of those little details that we like to add in and just to give that bit of realism. The main thing with these was the magnetic roof and being able to include interior detail. Obviously you've got to get past the PCB and the lighting strip, but inside here you'll find not just the luggage racks, but the picture frames as well. There's route maps in there, and there's mirrors. There's scope to add your own illustrations as well. And we were talking this over, and it would be really nice to see the first people that are going to include 3D luggage up on the roof, on the luggage racks. We've gone with a colour gamut, really, that wore across, and there's this. From photos, there seems to be a number of different interior colours. So with this particular example, it's that reddish brown upholstery with just a light, creamy, dirty coloured floor. And we've changed this throughout with not just the carmines, but with the maroons as well. And you'll see the interiors reflecting the different upholstery that was fitted to them. Of course, there's a stay alive with this, which gives you the 30 seconds to 2 minutes of the lighting staying on when the power goes off. It's important that does. It stops the flickering and it gives a nice sort of fade out once they're backed into a siding. All the separate details, the handles, the grab bars. So the various details on there, like the coach number, which you'd expect anyway. But then we've got the individual designations that are painted in the bottom corners. The vacuum stars, the lettering on the carriage windows, and no smoking signs. At the ends, we've got the electrical flashes, the train markers, the designations, so King's Cross Suburban, King's Cross Inner, Outer Suburban, these legends appeared on the end. And then obviously we've got like the tear weights and the rest. And they're all readable if you want to grab your magnifying glass and go in there. Remarkable job by the factories in the detail that they get with the tampo printing. Of course, I think with these, the underframe, certainly the area that I'm really pleased with. There's a lot of detail in there, the piping, the detailing of the battery boxes, that's all in there. The detail on the bogies, again, we've got the information, the chalk markings, and the bogies themselves will take EM and P4 wheels. It's not a difficult job to do, parts unclip, and it's simply a case of swapping in. The brakes themselves will need to be adapted for E4 and P4, but EM and P4 even, I'll get that right. But I'm sure that's, you know, that's something that the modelers out there will be able to handle. Kinetic couplings on there, NEM pocket and tension locks, and a lot of time's been spent between them because they're non-gangway coaches. You haven't got the gangway there to fill the gap. So I've tried to go for prototypical spacing on the buffers. Looks great, goes around curves fine, but if you're going to go to radius 2, there's the possibility of buffer locking, especially if you're going to push. So what we've included in the pack are also some clear perspex fixed couplings, which will allow you to have a little bit more confidence in push-pull if you want to, but it also gives you a little bit of added distance if your curves are R2. Here we have the composite lavatory. Same sort of thing again, all the detail you could want. Lovely detail inside on the compartments, the window grab rails. They were a nice touch. I was pleased with how that come through. Different types, and in this period we see different no smoking signs, so they're represented. First class markings. The roofs are nice. We've got 3 different types of roof vents that are included across the range, and we've included those. We have the small vent pipes on here, and we also have the large water feed pipes, which brings us to the problem that we had. We couldn't go making different roof body combinations. That would have made too much of a increase in tooling costs. So we've kept the mag roofs on for the CL here and also for the SLO. But if you take the roof off, it's going to have an adverse effect on the pipes. So we've put a recommendation, and you'll see the warning panel inside each pack of these, that if you're going to detail the inside, it's best to do that by taking the body off rather than taking the roof off itself, because you run a risk of bending and flaking the paint away from the pipes.
Well back from the edge of the platform as the train arrives.
Overall, I'm really pleased with them and how they've turned out. It's one of those things, as a project manager, you always worry how things will be received. But on the whole, yes, I'm pleased with how these have turned out.